Alrighty guys, now we can see that we got everything cut. Got every section ready to go. Also on the other side, leading up to here, everything's ready to go. It's all at the appropriate length. I got metal shavings all over the deck, which is something I should know not to do. So don't cut your members up here like I do. Or if you do, lay down a tarp or something of that nature. Otherwise, use a chop saw down with a tarp underneath it on the grass, wherever you're at, so people don't step on this stuff. So I'll be having fun using tape or a broom or maybe even a power washer or something to get all this off. But anyway, that being said, because you try to rush and you get things done and then you go, oh crap, I just created more workless for myself. So do it right the first time. You won't have to go back and do it different the second. I think Bob at the deck store would know a whole lot about that. Which brings me to my next point. You can get this beautiful Westbury railing at the deck store. They always have quality products and then also products available and really friendly people there to help you. And go there and buy your decking, your railing, whatever it is. There's a reason they're called the deck store. You don't go to an optometrist to go get a cavity filled. So pick the right people and they'll take care of you. But anyway, we're at the point now where we're putting these brackets in that Westbury promotes. It's a very simple bracket. You can see that it's got those two little holes there, the side mounting screws to keep everything in place once you found your spacing and put together the whole rail assembly and made sure the spacing is even left to right. The way that I do it is I take that 1 3/8 block that I cut it to the width of the between part of these leg screws, or this flat little surface here on this rail section. So every time that I mount these posts, I not only put the little metal spacers or the metal pieces that go underneath where the bolts are, so when you fasten them, it pushes against the metal and it doesn't just suck into your deck and do nothing. So make sure to put those in, but I literally purposely put my posts with that wider spot between the leg screws so that I can fit my little block in there. And you'll see the nice part about my little block is that it holds everything where it's supposed to be. If I pull it away, it falls over. I have an arrow setting on it too, just so you know which side is correct, because one is obviously like 1.5 inches. So you can have it sitting just like that. Make sure it's not on this nice coping or the welded material so it doesn't tilt your bracket up. Pull it a little bit forward, slide it in, make sure it's flush. The counterweight of the bracket will keep it where it's at. From there, some people just screw it in right in place, push against the bracket. I find that sometimes that can, get a little bit twisted, manipulated. It works both ways, it's fine. Well, you can literally screw it in, and because I'm holding the camera, I'm not going to show you me, just screwing it in with the self-tapping screws. I'll take a Sharpie, and I'll look at my little holes. I'll make a mark. Boom. I have my two little marks on the post, probably hard to see because it's black. I don't want it to reveal itself, just in case I'm a little off. And then I'll take my 5/32 drill bit, which to me has shown to be the perfect size when drilling these holes. So I'll hit this little guy. Start it off nice and slow so you don't slide around. I like the impact because it goes so much faster than drill. And then we'll do this little guy again. And then Bob's your uncle. I put the bracket back. Why do I put the bracket back? Because I want, isn't that funny when you can't get the bracket, what you want to happen, right? I put the bracket back on, so just in case I did screw a little bit differently or I didn't stay incredibly straight, my bracket will push against the block, which I know is at the perfect measurement. That Westbury, a famous guy that I know, says follow the manufacturer's instructions. That's the most important thing I can say. Before you assemble anything like this, either talk to someone who knows something or read the instructions, because there's a reason they make it the way that they do. No need to reinvent the wheel. That's why we cut the block. That's why I leave the block there when I screw these in, so nothing moves, nothing is manipulated. So now I gotta find my fancy little square bit, which is right here. Take this little guy out, put this little guy in. You'll see that Westbury provides a pack of screws with each one of these, one of which has this black head, this nice rounded. This is not going to be one of the ones that goes on the inside of here, because this is going to be a finished screw that will be seen. Actually, I apologize. See, this is why I gotta pay attention. I use these ones because these are never going to be seen, and the fact that they're rounded and kind of chunky like that, the Westbury has a finished bracket, which is this little guy with this tongue, that's going to go over top. This tongue slides into that little hole right there, and that finishes the assembly. Once all the rail is in, everything is good, and it covers these holes where the screws are. So these ones that are rounded are going to be the ones that you put in on those inside portions of the bracket, because they're never going to be seen, and they would bubble out that bracket that slides over, or that finished piece that slides over your bracket. So you make sure to use these on all the outside screwing members, like right there. That's where the flat screws go. Believe it or not, I made the mistake of putting all those in, going rapid fire, and you know the process. You'll end up taking a million screws out, you'll be kicking yourself, and you'll probably take an early lunch. Either way, that's how you do it. Obviously, remember the screws, the different kinds, and what you're supposed to use when you're supposed to use them. The block is uber helpful, the perfect size drill bit, a nice fresh square bit, and then you go around in a circle and do every one of them. And that's another Twinkies Television tip and trick for Westbury railings. If you have any questions, hit us up. We put these things on YouTube. We're going to start doing it more with full deck bills and anything of that nature. Let people know, let us know what you want to see, if anything at all. And God bless, keep it goofy.